Hi everyone, my name is Evelyn Hernandez and this presentation is going to be about project delivery methods and highway construction. Project delivery methods. So project delivery methods are essentially different systems that are used by a construction company for organizing and financing different aspects in a construction project, such as the design phase, the actual building construction phase, operations, and maintenance services. What these different parties or contractors do is they enter into legal agreements with the client or with the owner, and architect if architect is involved, etc. And they go through the whole project process in a more simpler and organized manner. So essentially, the reason why these methods are so important in highway construction is because they reduce the time needed from planning the construction of a project, and that leads to then ensuring that these projects, these highways, etc., are available sooner to the traveling public. Now on to safety. Safety is top priority for a lot of companies. There are many risks that are taken in highway construction, including laborers working night shifts, so risking not being seen or risking a potential hazard activity to occur. Legal issues as well, and obviously having to prioritize public's safety. And aside from that, there are also risk mitigation plans, which are made or created to bring out a safer environment and reduce risks. Also, the state law has the power to limit companies when it comes to project delivery methods. One perfect example of this is that TxDOT is limited by the state law to only the traditional design bid build method, meaning that they can't by law use any other project delivery method besides the traditional DBB. Here is a test your knowledge. Take some time to read it, and the following slide will have the answer. Now I'm going to talk about a couple of different project delivery methods. The first project delivery method that I'm going to talk about is design bid build. As I mentioned earlier, design bid build is the traditional delivery method. This method is separated into three different phases: the design phase, the bidding phase, and then the construction phase. And essentially what the process is, the drawings it's designed and the specs are done by the architect or engineer, and then it is put up for a bid, and that's when the general contractor comes into the project. Now, how much the project is going to cost, there's an estimate known in the design phase. So that simplifies the contractor selection for the owner, because the owner knows typically around what price range the project is supposed to cost. And in this specific project delivery method, there's minimal interaction between the designer and the contractor. Next is design build. The design build method allows the contractor maximum flexibility for innovation in all of the phases. There is no bidding process that takes place in this method, and the design and the construction phase are typically done by the contractor, meaning that it saves both time and money, because there will be less RFIs, there will be less change orders, meaning that there will be less loss of money per se for the general contractor. Another thing, the design build method has been increasingly used by the state's Department of Transportation, despite its experimental status and the opposition of some workers in the highway construction industry. Following design build is design build maintain. So what this method does is it combines the design and construction responsibilities of the design build method with the operations and maintenance post the finished product. It is also known as the turnkey and as build operate transfer BOT. It allows private partners to take advantage of a number of efficiencies, and the contractors do have to send in a bid, and they are required to propose a price for the design, the construction phase, and for maintenance for whatever time period is specified to them. Next, I'm going to talk about design build warrant. So design build warrant is essentially the design build project delivery method with conditions of a warranty clause. It is more for projects that incorporate technological features and is mainly used or only limited to a number of states, including Alaska, Michigan, and Utah. Under SEP 14, which is a special experiment project number 14, which is essentially innovative contracting. Moving on, I'm going to talk about construction manager at risk, which is the next project delivery method. In this specific project delivery method, the construction manager is hired prior to the overall completion of the design to act as the project coordinator and the general contractor. In this specific method, the construction manager is also at risk, as they are assuming all of the liability and responsibility of what typically a general contractor handles. And this project delivery method is also similar to the design bid build process, as the owner contracts separately with a designer and a contractor. Next is project manager as agent. So in this case, the construction manager is hired and they have agency power over the owner. This allows the owner to take a step back from the project, and the construction manager then uses his expertise in cost control and schedule management, design management, and construction management. And the owner typically hires them to oversee the entire project from the design phase all the way through the construction phase, which then reduces the responsibilities of the owner and the responsibilities of others working in the project, so that can shorten the project's schedule. Finally, the last project delivery method that I'll be talking about is the construction manager as advisor. In this project delivery method, a construction manager consultant is brought in who acts as the advisor to the owner. They are typically hired on set of the project or once the design phase is already completed. Their role is to oversee the planning and design phase regarding their implications on cost, schedule, and constructability. And they typically oversee large, complex projects rather than those that are small or routine, since there is more to be advised or more guidance needed for a larger project than for one that is small. Here's the second test your knowledge. As well, take your time to read it, and the following slide will provide the answer. So to sum this presentation up, when the owner has a project in mind, they typically have to look for which project delivery method is going to be more cost effective, time effective, and whatever it is that suits them and their project best. So it's convenient to have more options to choose from. However, as I've mentioned multiple times, the design bid build project delivery method is still the traditional and the most used project delivery method, which means that it is the one that's most understood, but sometimes it's not the most ideal one to go with. Anyways, the upcoming slide is going to be my references, and yeah, thank you for your time and have a great one.